Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side of sports. It's Laws in the building. It's Aaron. We in here rocking out. Did you miss us? It's two either been on sabbatical. No, it's hard, dog, to do the podcast when this joint be in a drought, dog. It ain't nothing to really talk about for real. Basketball, that joint.
That's over with, man.
What you think of the finals, dog? Did you enjoy the finals?
Not really, but the series was closer than I think a lot of people thought going in. Everybody thought OKC was just going to smash Indiana out the gate,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up losing that first game, and it kind of went back and forth to the end, almost like it was scripted. But
You
outside
already
of
know.
that, you know, it's crazy when you kind of look at it and think about the guys that like growing up. You're looking at like Charles Barkley and a lot of the guys that were good but never got rings, and then
Mm-hmm.
you look at some of these jokers or guys that never even made it to the finals, and you look at some of these people, and it's like, dog, SGA, Jalen Williams, these guys got rings, and they're gonna talk about them. Chet Holmgren, all they got rings, and people gonna talk about them completely different than some of the
Yeah,
people who was like superheroes or on that dream team that never got a ring.
yeah.
It's just that's the part that's
That's
just strange.
crazy, dog. I didn't even think about that, but
Like
that's
Karl
just
Malone,
crazy.
Charles Barkley,
It
it's
was
just
a
a lot
rack
of
of
guys that
good
was nice,
battles.
like superheroes when we was young, but never
Oh,
got a ring.
no, I've
But Chet
never got
Holmgren
it.
got a ring. Or even if Halliburton and them would have won, it would have been the same way. It was just,
Same way,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Caruso got
Miles
a ring, dog.
Turner.
Yeah,
Uh, it's just
yeah. Siakam.
sometimes it's different looking at like modern basketball compared to the way we view players at least growing up.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I heard somebody say that like if Tyrese Halliburton, if they would have won, he would have been the worst like finals MVP of all time. Like all the people who've ever won it. And I agree, but the Batman didn't
But
get
they
this
don't know.
finish.
People don't even know who won it for real. Like they only going off a window with probably the last 10 years of what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
remember.
yeah. Kobe.
Famers ain't going back to see who won it during the 1975 or
He probably would have watched it, but
1989. Yeah, like stop.
yeah, so Halliburton tears his Achilles, dog. No, I know this drink like the back of my hand, dog. As soon as I seen Bama's fall, I'm like,
And
oh
that
yeah.
calf start jiggling,
Like,
it's
oh
over.
yeah, he finished. He finished. Now this joint has become like a thing, and some people are saying it's the pace that they're playing with. The players are playing with this incredible pace that like we haven't seen in a long time. Like just with the just this like basketball, like they just it's like 100 plus possessions or something that they playing. Like Bama's just running, and they just basically they saying they're running the athletes to the ground. Is they running the athletes to the ground? I mean, the game has changed. It's definitely
So
changed, but
I mean, I don't think that as much as I think people have allowed these white folks to talk them into thinking they're not human. He knew the calf, like, and the funny thing is, Luca ain't go for it. When Luca calf was hurt, he sat his ass out and didn't let people rush him back. But then these
yeah.
black dudes feel obligated because of the narrative and
He probably
the
had his
moment.
pops was in his ear too, probably.
Like, dog, sit down. You hurt.
You
This is
hurt,
what
dog.
happens when you play hurt. So I think the issue is more the media has more of this influence and this kind of like they kind of drive how guys approach
Mhm.
approach the game. And we always talk about biology is undefeated, dog. The
Yeah,
laws of physics are undefeated. So when you think you bigger than you watch KD do it, you watch all these other people do it who like the calf is injured. You should not be playing. If this was a preseason game, you wouldn't play. If this
mhm.
was a regular season game, you wouldn't play. But you think the laws of physics are going to go on pause because it's the finals?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the low top shoes. That doesn't really make sense. I don't think it's the modern NBA. I think people feel like they feel obligated to play. Kawhi don't. Like Kawhi, like this would have never happened to Kawhi. And people joke and troll on him,
Yeah.
but this would have never happened to him because he doesn't go for the same stuff that some other people go for. And it's unfortunate. Like you hate to see people get hurt, especially this point in the season, which means it's going to affect next season because you know Achilles
Yeah.
is one of the worst injuries you can
Yeah.
have.
That's a year. That's the year. Year
So it's
recovery.
like he already screwed for next year. It's really unfortunate, but sometimes people got to tap into reality because we mock the youngins when they don't pay attention to like what really like how stuff really works. Like it go the same way for us, though.
Yeah, dog. That joint, it's a blow. But now they next season is screwed up because arguably their best player is arguable, but I think he's
Bag.
their
They
lead.
talk about LeBron don't have a bag.
Yeah,
This
he
dude can't get past
bag.
anybody or get his own shot to save his life.
Yeah, that bad. Yeah. His bag ain't dead, dog. But it's gonna be different even now with the Achilles joint. So Pace is one and done, dog. They ain't going back for another 50 years, dog.
50 years is crazy.
That was it. Uh, dog, I know you don't watch golf, dog. I know you don't watch golf. But this weekend in the Travelers Championship joint, dog, Alabama hot pump Kool-Aid, bro.
He
It's
choked.
Bama. Oh my goodness. The type of choke I'm talking about. I'm talking about at the table, bro. The Bama had a four-stroke lead going into the final round. Then the Bama was like +2 through like the first nine, and he was just hanging on. The Bama had like basically like a one-stroke lead going into the last four holes, dog. This Bama commenced to just falling apart. Somehow he get the whole 18, and because all like the people that are paired in your group at the end, basically like they're all around your same like stroke number. So he goes into 18. This Bama has a one-stroke lead. All he has to do, Aaron, I'm making it sound like it's easy, but all he got to do is just not go OB, like out of bounds. Don't like just play the hole regular. Just par the hole and you're good. These are professional golfers, dog. So when I say like par the hole, that's like almost saying that's the equivalent in basketball to like make a layup. All you gotta do is just make the layup. No, I take that back. That's the equivalent of me saying you got two free throws. All you gotta do is hit these two free throws, dog, and then the game is over. That's essentially what it's like. He had to get par. That's all he had to do. This Bama is 140 yards out. He hits a shot. This joint, dog, it could have been me out there playing, dog, because the joint didn't even get on the green. I'm like, oh my gosh. Of course, the Bama who was playing like hit after him. He was like, oh, this Bama going to open the door. This Bama hit the joint 5 feet from the hole. This Bama Tommy Fleetwood ended up bogeying the hole, meaning he went over the par, and then the other dude birdied the hole. So it just flip-flopped. So the Bama just lost the joint. It didn't go to a playoff, nothing, dog. I thought the Bama was going to commit suicide after that, Aaron. The Bama was leading 3 days in a row. He had to lead 3 days in a row, up until the last day, up until the last hole. He lost the lead on the last hole. Somebody got to do a wellness check on that man, dog.
Has he ever won anything before?
Dog, this the thing. This the crazy part. I'm glad you asked that because this is a key component. The Bama has the most top 10 finishes out of all the professional golfers.
But how many W's? Like the number one?
Zero
bingo.
Zero W's.
Bingo. There you have it, dog. I only have to watch, dog. It's so simple. It's so simple.
No, it's hard. It's a hard pump Kool-Aid, Aaron.
Ain't got it.
No, and
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo. And shout out to my man Brian, because he hit me. I was like, dog, Fleetwood about to get his first W, dog. He was like, hell no. I was like, what? This
So
is
everybody
like
know he the Buffalo Bills.
this like halfway through the draft. I'm like, dog, the Bama gonna win, dog. He got 3-stroke lead, dog. Bama's cooking. He playing out. He's like, dog, he don't know how to win. He's like, dog, that golf pressure is different, bro. That tournament pressure is different. I'm like, nah, but the Bama got it. He been winning 3 days, though. Like, all you gotta do is just finish the day. He good. He's like, all right, dog. This Bama couldn't wait to call me after this show.
Dog, and stuff like this, even in team sports, it could mean you like it when you don't finish like in a situation like this or a moment like this, it could completely derail your ability to finish in the future. Like where it's like you get the yips or something, and you just so I can't imagine in an individual sport, this Bama might
Dog,
go into psychosis.
dog, this joint is bad. Cause the thing is, like, when they try to interview him, he's just like, you can just tell, dog. It's
I'd have left.
like that's
We're
what I
not
said.
doing no interview.
He tried to. He
I'm
tried.
out of here.
He tried to, dog. He
No
tried.
shower, fully clothed, in the whip, out of here.
I'm getting straight in the car, dog. I'm not like, dog. And the Bama who won after the drink, like, because I told you the Bama hit his shot afterwards, and then Bams was chanting USA, like
So where's he from? The other dude.
he from like Britain or somewhere.
Get him
like
out
that.
of here. Yeah.
Dog. But the thing is, dog, the Bama face looks so hurt. He looks so hurt, dog. It like I'm trying to quantify that joint into a plate like a way that Bama's can understand, though. It's
Like when
like nah. Go ahead.
when LeBron tapped Gilbert Arenas on the chest at the free
Yes,
throw line and he missed both free throws.
yes.
Like if you miss these, you know who gonna win it, right?
Yeah.
And Gilbert, who is an all-world cooker, probably shoot 90% from the free throw line, missed both of them.
It was just like that, dog. It's like, dog. It's like you get a bad progress report, dog, and then you work with the teacher, and then they like, yeah, like you doing much better, boom, 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 and then like you like take the test, you get an A, and blah blah blah, and you like, oh yeah, I'm doing good in this joint, and then the report card come out, and you got a D on that joint. You're gonna be so defeated, dog. Like what? I've been working with this. Dog, Bama was so blown, bro. I never seen a Bama so blown, like on camera like that. Like even a Chris Webber joint when he called the timeout in college, the Michigan joint, this joint looked worse than that, dog. Like I was really concerned for this Bama's, like, cause the Bama went from like having the joint in hand and then seeing it all slip away. And like the thing is, his last putt, this Bama just putted. So hold on, time out. This is context. So before his last putt, all he had to do was par the joint, right? So when he got to the front, he was like on the fringe of the green, and he decided to putt. Right? It was his third shot was a putt. He putted the joint and he putted it behind the Bama who hit a shot from the fairway, his ball. So when you putt behind, it's always the furthest away goes first. So he had to putt his for par, and he gave a line to the Bama who was like putting behind him. So he got to read the putt. Like he'd be able to like see. So when he putted behind his ball and he put his ball marker down behind the other dude, he was so blown, dog. Like, oh, I'm gonna get his Bama read too. Like, oh my God. You could tell he was already defeated right there, dog. The first loss was in his mind. So I was like, dang, this Bama done. So then he putted and missed the joint. So that's how he bogeyed the joint. So the Bama who putted after him was like, oh, I know the line and everything. And he putted the line and then birdied the joint. And then the joint was just over. The whole place erupted. Everyone was like, yeah. And then that Bama was just like, dog. He looked so sad. Like, dog, I feel for that man, Tommy Fleetwood, dog. Go look up his picture, Aaron. It'll make all
Betamax. Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey,
Who
dog.
was the Bama that the Nationals had that was trash? Like that was like their first big signing.
Oh, yeah. What's that Bama name? He looked just like him. Yeah, he do.
They signed him for like 120.
Yeah, he do. He playing like minor league baseball now. I can't.
He should be retired now.
Yeah. But he like doing like charity job. Yeah, before that, it was like 2000. I feel like 12.
What's this Bama's name?
Yeah, if I see the Bama name, I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm pulling up the rosters too. What's that Bama name, dog? Not
Jason Worth.
Jason Worth. Yeah. Jason Worth, dog. Jason Worth. Yeah, he looked just like him, dog. But this Bama Tommy Fleetwood, this Bama's little, dog. He's little, but he's good. He good, but no W's, dog. So he's still without a W. Um, yeah, that joint hurt his soul, bro. We had a question of the day. I ran into somebody.
You better
I ain't
say
gonna
some
put no.
names.
I ain't want to say no names, dog. I ran into somebody, and they asked the question. They were like, so they was dating this person. Everything was good on paper. They driven, you know, respectful, funny, spiritually grounded, everything. But they said that emotionally they were kind of distant. Um, she was like, essentially, because I'm like paraphrasing the drink, but she was like how she basically expressed that she wanted like more affection and attention and stuff like
She
that.
got a father,
I don't know. That's a good question.
but go ahead, my fault.
Yeah, no, that was a good question. So she was like, you know, she wants like touchy feely and like him to basically like show interest in text and stuff. So the Bama like did it. Like he started like texting good morning every day. He was like doing more thoughtful stuff or whatever, sending flowers, all that type of stuff, whatever, whatever. Woo, woo. And so she was like basically like, oh, okay, like it's working out. But then she was like, but after like a year, time passed, then he basically like kind of went back to how he was at the beginning and just stopped doing all the stuff. And she was basically like, is it her or is it him? Like, is this what to expect? Like, is this how Bama's just act? Like, you just do stuff for a time and then just stop doing it? And I was just like, what's your perspective before I go into what I said?
So I got a couple different perspectives, but
Uh-huh.
the first one is people are who they are. Like if you
Okay.
go, and this is like especially important for women because I think they're the most guilty of this. Is like they'd be like, oh, he checked this box, and this box if he'll only do this, and they sit around kind of trying to do like build a bed with a dude. Like if I could just get him to do this piece, like that's not how people are. Like you got to either accept somebody for the way they are. I ain't talking about abuse or just
Uh-huh.
being trifling, lazy bum. Like
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the extreme stuff, because you know how they are. You put that
Yeah.
aside. We talking about generally speaking, just like if somebody
Mm-hmm.
normal, functional,
Mm-hmm.
um, if the Bama's showing you love in whatever way he's showing you love, and that's just the way his personality is.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, this is what my needs are. Like
Mm-hmm.
to let somebody know what your needs are. Like it's nothing wrong with that. But these like fantasies and imaginations of these like Instagram goal relationships and doing all this, and that. Youngins think they can really like mold somebody into a completely different person. And that'll never be the way that life is. Even
Nah.
if a guy like say, okay, I'm gonna try and starts doing stuff, if it's not in their nature or not like coming from the right place of them like doing it on their own,
Mm-hmm.
eventually Bama's is gonna default back to the factory reset. That's just what it is, and you know what I mean. Like you can't force people or even want people really to be somebody other than who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't manufacture it, though. And I agree 100%. I basically we almost spot on the same with the comment. I'm like, I also threw in the fact that like you also have to like set the value system to what you're asking for like appropriately because there's certain things that you should value more than
Yes,
other things. Like sometimes these guys misconstrue like dog, like consistency, honesty, like these things should be
but they
higher
don't.
value than like so what the Bama don't get you flowers and stuff. Like if you ask him a direct question, he's gonna give you a direct answer. Some Bamas will do all that stuff and be swindling and doing funny business and can't trust them and they what I'm saying like
That's why they're so easy to manipulate because their value system be off.
it's
As
like
long
dog
as you could do this, and this, you can get away with murder. You've
yeah
seen it with your own eyes. It's
and
like,
it
go ahead.
and I'm like, what do you want? Like, do you want a long lasting, fruitful relationship? Like, because if you want that, that's built on these things. Like,
They ain't see it
it's built
growing up.
on
That's why I asked if
integrity,
she had a father.
foundation, like, what I'm saying? Trust. And like, these are things that are built. Like, all that other stuff, that's the extras. And I'm not saying that you can't like want those or desire those, but what I'm saying is
It's
if
the
you got
charity.
Bama's with the extras and they don't got the foundational pieces, you like you you just it's like recruiting a ball player, dog. And the Bama got the fancy socks, he got the all the gear and stuff like that. Oh, this Bama look like he can hoop. But the Bama turn the ball over 70 times. Like he can't handle the rock. Like you don't want him on your team, dog. So I just like you gotta don't put as much stock in the stuff that really in the grand scheme of things really don't matter. Like if at the end of the day, I mean,
And and just to add to what you're saying, even like in the grand scheme of things, yes, it doesn't matter. But part of it is some of these people we need mental health. Like, why do you desire this? Why is this so important? And a lot of times it go back to your upbringing, like just the lack of whatever growing up, or the way like your parents handled you, that kind of stuff. And
mhm,
people don't realize, and they just project that on the other people and think, oh, this is normal. There's nothing wrong with wanting this, and that. But in those situations where you got that, that's the only thing that Bama had. The Bama was living under the sofa. The Bama wasn't like lying and scheming. He was hitting 4 or 5 other. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
like, why is this such a priority? Why is this so high on your scale? Or this like what you're focused on? Especially if you saying like the dude got everything else going, like everything is fine. And so like the other thing I would add to that, like the second piece is when he made all these changes, what did you do? What did you change to improve his life or um
uh,
to gear towards what he wants and what his needs are?
yeah.
Like, what did you do?
She probably never asked. What
Because
is
they don't care. Like they think all they gotta do is show up in some lingerie on your birthday and on Valentine's Day, and that's their only job requirement. And so, like, what did you do? Did he do this for a year and be like, he might be like, man, she ain't doing like I'm tired of this younger. She only want to do this. She's selfish. This, and that. You don't know what's going on in
yeah,
that man head. To maybe he was like, man, I'm wasting my time. Like I'm doing all
yeah,
this, and this. She's still complaining. She's still
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
she don't appreciate it. So
yeah.
that's the conversation you need to have with the Bama before you go tracking down Harold, asking him. Uh,
Entitlement, dog. I just get
especially
out
the
of
older
that,
they get, dog. In our age bracket,
entitlement phase, dog. Just do what's right. And the thing is, I mean, I can honestly say, like, my wife, she is she's a stellar woman, dog, because she's constantly doing things that's like it's even I have to be a curveball type Bama to just like ignore some of the stuff that she does so that I'm happy. Like she does a lot of stuff to just make sure that I'm happy, or not even just happy, but like that I just get what I want. And that joint in turns like forces me to be like, oh nah, like, let me do this because like I get basically like carte blanche to do whatever almost whatever I want, dog. So I'm like, oh no, let me go ahead and do this. Let me try to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like
right?
it's because yeah, dog. She's always like even today, like she was like she sprung something on me last minute, which you Aaron, you know me long enough, dog. Like I don't like the little last minute type like what? Like where this come from? Like I like to be able to like think and process and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And stuff do happen, but like I know she knew that, so she wasn't like even putting pressure on me to like have to do it. But I know she want me to do it though. I know she want me to do it. So I'm gonna like do everything in my power to just do it because one, she's kind of considering like other things that I already had planned. So she's like, I know you had this, blah, 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 but like, this is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, no worries. So I'm just gonna try like figure out how I can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But that type of consideration though, in like navigating, it's like it helps me to like think that same way too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not always just like I think I'm more selfish than she is, but I mean that's just how it
I,
be.
I'm just saying, if she's so considerate, I say you take her to Madrid in November. like mid-November, around the 16th.
No, first of all, time out. No, she already done put that on the docket, dog. Like she already said, I want to go to Spain in November. Like, Bob, I'm like, oh my gosh, dog. I'm like, young, we gotta hit some licks out here, dog, in order for that to happen, bro.
That's midway through the season. We already gonna be up 20
Yeah,
parlays by November
you right.
16th.
You right. I'm gonna get back. I
Yep.
started Drake. Remember I sent you to Drake. If you had to hit a parlay to get out of jail, so parlay that's at least 2 teams, Drake. Not no one single bet, Drake. Nah, you got to hit a parlay to get out of jail. They put you in jail. If it's at the beginning of the basketball season, no, I'm gonna be in that joint 2 months, though.
So I ain't bet on no basketball all season.
No, you're a wise man, bro. That joint's so rigged. That joint rigged. I'm convinced
It's WWE.
it's rigged more than any other sport, dog. The football joint rigged too, but in a different way.
We know
Baseball
the
joint
plan. We know the scouting report and the plan with the football rigging. With basketball, it's literal wrestling.
rigged. These members doing it is wrestling, dog. First of all, the fact that you see a lot of like in the basketball bammers in the WWE joint, just know they got close ties, dog. Because honestly, they wouldn't even let wrestlers I'm not letting my professional athletes go over that joint and do stunts and get body slam and fake wrestle and tussle and all like that. Nah, bro. But the fact that they letting them do it, they got a connection, dog. They got a connection. All right, the NBA draft tomorrow, Aaron. What the Wizards need to do?
It's tomorrow?
Yeah, 25th June.
No, they don't play with the basketball. The season over, they get right to it.
No. What the Wizards need to do. That's what I'm trying to find out.
I keep hearing they're desperately trying to move up to 2. I think they like Ron Harper Jr. or what was Rick Boy? Ace Bailey. I don't know. Probably Ron Harper Jr. But I haven't seen these banners be successful at anything since Gilbert Arenas left. So I imagine they get stuck at 6. Mm-hmm. That being said, you hate to see somebody fall, but I hope Derek Queen end up available at 6. That's the only thing that would make me leave with a positive, even a slightly positive outlook since these Bamas were supposed to get the number 1 pick and fall to 6 overall.
They pick up Chris Middleton's $33.5 million option.
He probably trade bait. Like they're gonna probably try to move him for an expiring contract at some point. Maybe during the draft to move up to 2. It's like just a leverage play, I guess, because I think this is the last year left on his contract. So to be able to take $33 million off the books, these owners love those kind of expiring contracts. So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, dog. This I was looking at the roster, bro, and I was just like, dog, they gotta start from scratch, bro. Jordan Poole, get him out of here, dog.
Yeah, they gotta move him too.
I'm like at this juncture, because they haven't I don't feel like they've invested in building a team properly to where you feel like obligation to keep somebody. Dog, anybody over 26 years old, just get them off the roster, dog. Just get all young Bammers. I don't care. Just get all young Bammers. Jordan Poole, go ahead and put a package deal, move up in the draft. Get 2. To me, this draft has talent in it, dog. There's some talent in the draft. So I know people talking about Ferry. What's the band name? Ferry. He looked like he all right. But dog, just get Poole off the team. I think Carrington you can keep. Coulibaly you can keep. I think he's a good piece. The Joe only mess. Aaron, you already know about what I like from basketball. Dog, if you can't score effectively and efficiently, I'm not thrilled about you. The defense joint, that's overrated to me. Nobody played defense in the NBA. Name me the top defender in the NBA, Aaron.
Defender?
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren?
Okay. And he's 7 feet and lanky and tall. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if we go to compare, let's say we build in a championship team, right? Then our
That's
Chet
fifth or
Hunger.
sixth on the list.
That's what I'm saying. Our Chet Hunger is Alex Saw, essentially. Like if we go quantify, we don't have no Shy on the team. That's what we need. That's who you need, a Shy. Somebody who you can get put the ball in his hand, he can get buckets every time.
And people always want to say it's not that easy to come across these people, but the Wizards continually skip over these people for a Johnny Davis or all of these other like bums that they end up drafting. So it's not like, oh, we picking 20th, 25th, 30th, and all the good players are gone. They continue like year after year skip over guys who end up being part of championship teams or at least part of teams that are always in the playoffs, always a contender, to get guys that can play defense, which I don't understand.
Yeah. I I don't understand it. They got Malcolm Brogdon, Sadiq Bey, Justin Champagnie. I like Justin Champagnie.
Yeah, I seen him cook.
Keep him in a rotation. Like, matter of fact, you can start him, dog. Get rid of Jordan Poole, start him. I like AJ Johnson, Keyshawn George. Those are young pieces that you can work with. Chris Middleton, trade him. Brogdon, trade him. Bays, trade him. Like I know people were like, oh, you need some veterans on the team, blah blah, to show the young guys how to. No, you don't. You need leadership. You gotta get rid of the coach. That's important because he don't know what he's doing. And really just start over, dog. Get young cookers. Get 2 draft picks in this draft. Trade
How did they
everybody.
let the coach come back? They're not serious, dog. They're not serious. They don't even deserve us to be talking about these Bams until they do something, make a move that let us know they're serious. We gotta treat them like we treat hockey in the Nationals. Do something. Jaden Daniels get all the airwaves.
All that.
They did something. You know what I mean? Like until you get somebody that's gonna do something, like why are we talking about these Bams?
Yeah, you're right.
Calling me, blowing up my phone, talking about do I still want the tickets? No. You niggas got the 6th pick. Stop calling me.
Yeah, give me the tickets
Stop calling me.
for 80% off. How about that?
I asked him, I said, are the tickets the same price as they was before the draft? Which is an increase of 30% over last year? Bama talking about, yeah, no refunds. All right, cool. Stop calling. I want to watch that garbage.
Dog, all right, what do you think about the Kevin Durant trade going to the Houston Rockets? Rockets getting Jalen Green. They getting the other Bama who will be picking fake fights and some draft picks.
A bunch of 2nd-round picks.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't followed Houston enough to be honest to really know. I know they had the 2nd seed. I do like Sangoon. You know, I like Jabari Smith coming out, even though your boy ended up being a animal and being a better player to this point, Banchero.
Oh, Banchero,
But
yeah.
I know Ime is probably the best coach in the league now that Pop gone. Like he figures stuff out, he get it done. I don't know what his relationship, if he got a relationship with KD or what that's going to be like, but I know he's a really good coach. So I would imagine if you the 2 seed, to me, let's just start here. Like a lot of injuries take place, a lot of stuff happen for teams to end up where they end up, like Indiana, whether that be OKC. OKC was the number 1 seed throughout most of the season. I'm taking that a team with KD on it over the OKC Thunder 10 times out of 10, even though they just won the chip. So you know, if you take a number 2 seed, even though it's in the West and the West is tough, and you add KD to it, you would expect them to have a chance or to be expected to be the team in the finals, or at least the Western Conference Finals with a chance, with a chance to go to the finals.
Yeah, nah, it's a power move. And I think, KD is definitely still got some juice in the tank. I think, his leadership and his ability to kind of lead the team. In the playoffs, I think the team itself, if you're gonna make this move, to me, they probably expected more out of Jalen Green, like to kind of step up and assert himself as like a more prominent scoring guard, like and kind of lift some of the pressure. And he just couldn't carry that weight on his shoulders, maybe because he's young, or I don't know what
Maybe the other
case.
stuff off the court too, like and that's bigger than his game. So it's just
So it makes sense to me. the Suns are starting over anyway. Like to me, they're in a rebuild
Trade Booker,
situation.
trade everybody.
No, just start from scratch, bro. That if I'm in their shoes, that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing these pieces. I'm seeing how I can move them. What pieces going to stay versus what's going to go, and then I'm just trying to like get draft capital for years to come, so that I could like be positioned maybe in the next 2 to 3 years to be be a viable option. But the Rockets right now, like they in a position to win now. I think KD helps sustain that. They already was a second seed last year, like you say, so. To me, it's a power move, bro. It's a power
Efficient
move.
scorer, a killer
Yeah,
offensively, who's
yeah,
gonna perform in any system. Like he doesn't take away from anybody else's game like a lot of other players that you end up moving. He just adds. Bam's
yeah,
efficient. He don't need to dominate the ball. He gonna get you 25 in his sleep.
yeah,
You know what I mean? A guy that's hard to guard, 7 feet, can shoot the rock. It's just, to me,
yeah.
you
That's a
should be better.
no-brainer. Yeah, you should be better. So, definitely a good move there.
And didn't give
Uh,
up much or nothing. Like that's the crazy
yeah.
part. The package they gave up to get him, it's like it's just crazy. I just wish
I
the
mean,
Wizards would pull
it
something
just
like that
depends.
off.
It depends on how you perceive Jalen Green and his stock, like his ability to like be the guy. Because I mean, a lot of people think he has, superstar talent, but it just to me, it's been hampered. Like he just hasn't really stepped into that alpha dog role within the team. Like he's had some games where he dropped 30 and stuff like that, but just not consistent enough to really be there. Like he's, some people think he's like in that Edwards like framework, but to me, Edwards is like much far ahead, much far ahead. So I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Uh, on to some football, bro. We got the Terry McLaurin dog with
This is pissing me off.
30 million payout. Can we just get a Bama to 30 million, dog? What's
It amazes me how people could get so much goodwill and start feeling themselves. And the things that are obvious, the easy boxes to check, they don't check. So if you bring in Debo, that's to accentuate what you already have in place to make the team better. If you remove Terry, add Debo, you took steps back,
I
significant
agree.
steps back. Debo is not that as a wide receiver. He's like a utility knife. Like you put him at the running back position, H back. Like you can split him out wide. Run. It's just a bunch of different things. Like a gadget player almost. Um, and he's physical. You know what I mean? But he's no Terry. He can't run like Terry. He don't have hands like Terry. He's not a number one receiver. And that's just period. So if you end up bringing in a guy for 20 million and then you can't pay the guy that's been here going through the Jay Gruden years and all the garbage quarterbacks playing with Taylor Heineke and all these other bums, like, and he doesn't complain, shows up to work, like, there's probably other opportunities he could have tried to made his way out of here and didn't do
Yeah,
it when stuff was
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
for
yeah.
him to be probably the second best player on the team behind Jaden, and then you treat him like this, if things don't if it looks like they have a step back next year, or if Terry shows up and then, a lot of times, unfortunately, guys are sitting out, and this hasn't gone into training camp. It's still early,
Mhm,
but they
mhm.
get hurt or something, and then, the eyes gonna be looking at you different. Y'all built up a lot of goodwill. I think this is one of the easiest no-brainer, common sense things you should have had prepared. Is his money should have been set aside out the gate.
Yeah,
And a bunch of other people got paid already to kind of let you know where he should fall. So like, I don't know what the surprise is. I don't know what the issue is.
yeah. So I'm a this is what I think is the issue. I think that they don't think Terry's that good. And granted, I think that what Terry did, I think that they think that's an outlier and not more of like just with the type of player he is, right? I think that they think that that's an outlier. Like they and if you were to ask them, I would say behind closed doors, right? And they'll be like, who's really responsible for the success of the team? They wouldn't do this for themselves, even though this is true too. But like they probably would say it's more Jaden than it is Terry.
And it is. But he's been consistent. He came out the gate cooking with every quarterback you ever had here.
Mm-hmm.
He was cooking even when y'all wouldn't give him the ball and had him sitting in the
But see,
same.
but Aaron, when you say y'all, this regime is not that they not that's not a part of they probably trying to separate themselves from all the stuff that happened prior to. They just like looking at it for what it is as it is right now. And I mean, even with that, I think that yeah, pay the man. It's a no-brainer. But I think that they're like strategically not trying to cap themselves or hamper themselves for future moves, making a or setting a precedent that I mean
We're not
it,
going to pay our most important players. That's the precedent you want to set?
nah, dog. We want to pay our most important player. Dog, the thing is, even if Terry was hurt, right? This is how I think about it, right? It may not necessarily equate to the same thing, but like the impact of the player sometimes is greater than their what they do on the field, even
Right.
though that's a
The
big thing.
leadership.
The leadership, how they coach the player, how they talk to the players, like the camaraderie in the locker room, like that stuff matters too. So you got a guy that like and I'm not in the locker room per se, so I don't know how the other guys feel about him. I mean, I guess the wide receiver room's kind of changed over, so it's not all the same guys, but like you got a leader, dog, on your team that I think with him and Debo together, that puts the team at a different stratosphere offensively. When you remove Terry from that equation,
You need
like
two receivers at that point
yeah,
for this roster. Who you leaning on? Shanahan? Like they are the other guy got hurt with the Dre's that caught the Hail Mary again.
Noah
So it's
Brown.
like, who you got? Like, what are you leaning on? And this is unfortunate for even Jaden. Like, this is the second year after getting rookie of the year, best rookie season anybody's ever seen. And you want to build on that. You don't want to like remove weapons. It just to me, it makes the
They
most sense.
got cap space though. I just don't. They got money. I don't. I
You
can
don't
see
you
if you.
go ahead.
I can see if it was a team that just, like financially you were strapped. Like let's say you had like two, you had three receivers, like the Cincinnati joint, but they with their receiver situation, that was a look because they got three Bamas that's just commanding top dollar. You gonna pay like basically three receivers $30 million. Like that's different, dog. We ain't got one of them kind of situations here.
And it again, like if this was the game you're gonna play and make it about the money, you can't make the Debo trade. He already making more than Terry, you know, out the gate.
Mhm.
So like you bringing a guy that you're gonna pay $20 million when you got a guy you know you need to pay. So you can't then play the money angle because Terry's better than Debo, and it's not even close. Imagine how that would piss you off. You in the office, y'all negotiating your contract extension. They bring in a Bama that play the same position, but he nowhere near you, and he making more bread than you. And this Bama Terry do everything right. And it's
Mhm.
unfortunate because if he would have been more of a diva and been more of a distraction, Bama's would be scared to play with him that way.
Yeah. He put out the one statement through his agent, and then he been kind of quiet, though. And just
He got to start tearing shit up. That's what it is. Like when they know they can play with you, they feel like, oh, this Bama just gonna be quiet. It's gonna stay behind the scenes. He not gonna act out. Then they start doing stuff that they wouldn't do for somebody that they know gonna put the belt to that ass.
yeah, they need to pay the man, dog. I mean, if they pay him, let's say they pay him before training camp officially start. When does it start? July
A few weeks.
14th?
Yeah, mid July.
I
And it's
would
still early. Yeah, they can still get it done before training camp.
they get a deal done before training camp. This is just this is nothing.
But I mean, it's not nothing because, like, again, he's been here and kind of lived through all of the BS with this
Mhm,
organization. He shouldn't have to go through this wait to the last minute trip. I feel like they should have, like, you calling his agents, like, hey, what we need to do to get this done.
mhm.
It's just, and then guys, they egos like they hold on to stuff like this. I wouldn't be shocked if I'm Terry. I might be like, look, you don't want to pay me, send me somewhere, somebody that want to pay me, because it's a bunch of other teams that would be lining up to get his Bama max money and call it a day.
Easy.
Cleveland. It's a bunch of places that need wide receivers. Like,
So hold on, let me ask this question: do you think that that's a play?
for Terry,
No, I'm saying for the organization, for the team to be like, all right, let's look at some options.
it
See if
has to
we
be.
can get somebody back into the fold, right? That's maybe not Terry,
What, a pass
but
rusher? You're not gonna get a receiver back that's equivalent because you're gonna lose that. Who you gonna get better than him at that position? Nobody.
you're
So
not.
you so what they're gonna do is try to get another position like pass rusher. A, I don't know if they can get a better corner at this point, but they would have to try to get somebody at a different position in the draft pick back. But you got to explore all options at this point because you're getting real close to training camp and it's going to be a mess. The only reason that it's not more of a mess is because Dallas is dumb enough to not have paid Parsons, and then you also have the white boy in Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
Hendrickson,
Mm-hmm.
who is also not being paid, like you said, because they paid Burrow and the two wide receivers. So because the Bengals are so terrible at being
It
at
overshadows.
general management, it kind of overshadows
Mm-hmm.
what's going on here. And then just after 30 years of having no success and going as far as you've gone, building up all this goodwill, it's just unfortunate that things are playing out this way.
Yeah.
Request a trade, Terry. I wouldn't even be mad at
Oh, that joint. If Terry off the team, the Madden rating though that they gave us gonna be
Terry for Parsons. I
what?
take that trade.
Hold on. Would you do that?
Yes. I'd be sad to see him go, but that man was the best
Yo,
pass rusher since Reggie White.
hey, 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 Aaron, do you think that that's on the table that they shopping?
Nah, they can't. Dallas can't let that happen. They're not gonna trade with Dallas anyway, and that, like, they're not gonna trade with each other
Yeah, you're right, dog. That's
on that level.
and the fact that they just got the receiver
Oh yeah, Pickens.
picking.
But
So
that would be a mean receiver room.
uh,
And I think Terry better than both of them.
Dak had no excuses after that. But I know Terry would want to go to that situation.
I don't know that.
Maybe.
If he played here just fine, like on that stage, and he would cook. Like, I think he would cook with Dallas because he's faster than both of them. He got better hands than both of them. He's just a completely different style of receiver, I think, than
I don't
Pickens
think
or
I don't think he would
CD.
get the I don't think he would get the looks as much.
Dak generally spread the ball around when he's healthy. Then when Dak hurt and you got to rely on Cooper Rush or somebody,
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
that's that. But when Dak healthy, he generally spread the ball
Okay.
around.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
It'll never happen though.
Hey, they probably trying to make it happen though. They probably want the horns heavy.
I think they definitely looking at trade options.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that would make sense why they didn't pull the trigger yet. It's just give
Right.
them the bread. So they probably going to exhaust every option, see what they can get, see what offers on the table. Which to me is not necessarily a bad business savvy move. It's just a blow because we know the kind of guy Terry is
Right.
and the production that he put forth. But like, if you got a Michael Parsons, dog, all is forgiven. Like, I mean, I guess there's moves that could be made that would have me be like, well, I mean, they did. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are some moves that they can make that I'm like, well, all right, they didn't pay Terry, they traded him and they did it, but this joint. But I just think that, like, to me, it's like,
Not
wow,
Hendrickson. If they was to
nah,
trade Terry for Hendrickson, I'm gonna be hot.
yeah,
But
that's
if they
not the
get
same.
Micah Parsons,
That's Ryan Kerrigan 2.0,
right?
dog.
If they get Micah Parsons, I'm with that.
Yeah, that to me, I'm with that too.
It's a
But-
handful of guys. We got quarterback now, so we're not worried about that. Yes, we
Mhm.
back to we now. But like there's a handful of like a Patrick Surtain, something like that. Like, yeah,
Okay,
I can make that work in my mind.
okay,
They got Tunsil, so I think O line, and they kick B Campbell inside, so I think O line they straight.
yeah.
Running back, I mean, you're not gonna get Saquon. He just want to chip.
No, no, no.
You're
I
not
don't
gonna
want
get
him
Derrick
either.
Henry.
Nah.
So like, who else you gonna get on that level? I don't want McCaffrey. He missed the glass.
So what about like Kyron Williams?
Nah, not for Terry. Not for
Okay,
Terry.
because
They're
he
not
he
on
on
the
a
same level
he well he when he's in a pay
with the
contract
Rams. Yeah.
joint too.
Nah,
But he ball out though. That Batman do numbers.
yeah, he nice, but he ain't, I don't think he on Terry level. I need
Okay.
a super elite, like Who at tight end?
Ain't a
Like
whole bunch.
who's a nice
Ain't a
tight
whole
end?
bunch. Ain't a whole bunch of them, dog.
That's my
Travis
point.
Kelsey,
You got
old.
one, keep him. You
Yeah,
got one paying.
yeah. It ain't a lot of dudes out there you could just exchange and shuffle in and be like, and then and their value be equivalent.
Right.
I just
Or even the fan base. You could even get a good guy back, but if he's like he doesn't show up in a box score or the stat sheet or jersey sales like a Terry, and fans don't perceive it as a win, it's a loss.
yeah. Yeah, that's a true. That's a true. I seen more Terry jerseys than I seen anybody. We got a Terry jersey. I got one for Harley,
Yeah.
bro. Hey, y'all got to sign that man, bro.
After last season, he
He
walking
not
on
a
water, bro.
scrub. He good.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand it. I don't understand bringing in Debo and doing this. You could have left Debo in San Fran. Send him back, matter of fact, if that means signing Terry.
Yeah. Just sign Terry and just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He better than me. I'll be making it so uncomfortable over there in that building.
Dog, speaking of uncomfortable, Antonio Brown, dog, this Bama fleeing the country.
Yeah,
He
well,
wanted for murder.
you saw the video that they posted. I don't think people heard gunshots. They didn't realize that AB was the one doing the shooting.
What?
But you didn't see the video? I put it in the group chat.
When? Today?
No, this was like a month ago.
What
The Bama
happened,
walked
dog?
into it. It looked like a fight. It was some event he was at, like an Aiden Ross event or something. It looked like a scuffle. He was breaking through the crowd. Then you heard pop, pop, pop.
Oh, he was the one busting.
Yeah. Then they played the video back and did a screenshot. And you see the strap in the Bama's hand. I'm like, this. He got the realest, most most intense version of CTE ever to be distributed by the NFL, dog.
Yeah, dog. This Bama was. I mean, if he just walked the straight and narrow, this Bama's gonna be a Hall of Famer. His career is Hall of Fame worthy.
He probably ends up being top 3 receiver. They're gonna talk about Jerry, Randy, the younger generation. We say Randy. AB is probably right in that next rung if he just continues to do like this last 5 years he hasn't been playing or however long,
Yeah,
and he strings together the same seasons he had the previous 5. This Bama probably the 3rd best receiver ever.
ever. Yeah, dog.
But that CTE is serious.
It's serious, bro. It's serious. That joint is real. He gotta just claim that joint, dog, because
The
it's
second
real.
he died, dog, they chopping his Bama head off and taking his brain to study that joint. I
Yeah,
never seen nothing like it.
yeah, he a wild boy, bro. He a wild boy.
Bama over in the Middle East doing cartwheels on what was that? Like a moon bounce type joint. Tweeting talking about some ain't no more child support. Tell your mom get a job. Like the Bama is wild.
Dog, yeah. Before we get out of here, Browns training camp. What they have to start Shador, dog. What they gonna do? They
Suppress him.
playing with us, dog.
They're gonna suppress him, and the head coach is in one of those what they call a hot seat type
Uh-huh.
season where they been trash and he getting one more chance like Dabo. So what they're gonna do is try to trot all these other Bammers out there, be losing, losing, losing. When he start hearing the media talk about his job, they're gonna ask the Shador questions. He's gonna be forced to end up playing Shador probably halfway through the season. But they're not gonna start out doing the right thing.
No faith.
No, because we've already seen Act 1 and Act 2 with this whole process. You steal a obvious first round guy, top 5 guy, should have been the number 1 guy in the 5th round. So you end up with this gift, this Christmas gift in the middle of April or whenever the draft was. My brain as a GM says, we got the number 1 overall pick. Like if you're going to draft him, you got him and handle it the right way. And then you want to prove a point instead of like making sure this Bama get the reps he need to be prepared to go out there and perform like the talent that he is. But instead, I don't know if it's collusion or these guys' egos. I don't know if the owner stepped in and made the GM and head coach take this guy I don't know.
But it's a lot of odds, though. That I ain't never seen Cleveland media buzzing like this, though. These Bamas everywhere out, TikTok, Instagram, like the Cleveland media, they job like slurping shit over right now. Like
You have to.
and a lot of people outside, like this pressure on his team to like give Shador a legitimate chance that I don't think that they've ever experienced before, dog. The Bama jerseys, #1 sold, Browns jersey, like it's already the whirlwind has already started, dog.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where the owner's gonna have to step in, which I believe he did during the draft. Like,
Mhm,
I don't know any of this to be a fact because I don't had no contacts with the Browns, but I
mhm,
believe the owner stepped in like take Shador, and I
mhm.
think he's also going to see, like you said, the jersey sales, his popularity, and if the Bama's playing well in training camp and this owner and GM still playing, and these Bama's already on the hot seat, the owner at a certain point, if these Bama's still losing, like enough of this, like put the kid in,
Jimmy Haslam.
who's also a wild boy. Like he got some Dan tendencies a little bit. So
Dog,
you know,
all of them Bama's wild, dog. Every owner.
and the crackhead died. We ain't talk about that.
Hey, dog, Bama's love Ursay though,
The
dog.
crackhead, get him out of here. We ain't forgot what you
Yeah,
said. The
hey,
Kaepernick
dog.
Mailer.
The thing is, I agree with you, dog. I think Haslam stepped in and was like, dog, get Shador. If he's there, get him.
Yeah,
Because the Bama's so like the thing is, Shador is bringing a winning field to a place that's been dead
he's
for
never had a quarterback.
never had a quarterback. Like I never seen Browns fans like this excited. Like these Bama's are talking like how we was talking with Jaden.
Yeah,
And that
last year.
drink crazy, bro. Because it's like, what? This is the Browns organization feeling like they have a chance. And they're like, it's just, dog. They trying to, the media, like the Gabriel talk and stuff. Like, bro, they just, it's a whole thing. I can't, dog. This is the must watch TV. This joint is a soap opera.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting Sunday ticket. I'm gonna be following the Browns like
I
radio,
follow the Browns like I follow
and
the
their media.
Colorado
Yeah,
Rockies. Dog, hey, look, man, I took a Sabbath for two and I just watched the Colorado game, though. I had to support the
yeah.
Bama's, though.
So like I'll be watching. So we'll be able to tell really early on though. Like as soon as training camp starts, we're gonna be able to tell.
I'm
By the
following
time
that
the
joint.
season is over, we're gonna know everybody's motivation. We're gonna know who like them, who don't like them, and we're gonna know at what point the owner gonna have to step in and say, both of you losers is on borrowed time, and
Yeah,
Shador is the guy. He gonna be here.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you can tell even when they go back to when they drafted him, like you could tell the GM he didn't look excited about the trade. The coach kind of was like, it wasn't no dap up. Like usually when they pick the Bama, they get the Bama they want.
Yeah,
Like later, they be like, yes, we got him. You know what I'm saying? None of that. Them was like,
and then Dion gonna be coaching next year. So play if you want, GM and head coach. Play if you want.
you think Deion going to come coach the Browns?
I'm saying if they play these games with Shador, they're gonna get fired. And if they get fired and Shador is there, that's gonna be part of the conversation. And the owner is like Dan. He wants a splash. He needs a splash because the team doesn't win. He needs a splash. So I'm saying all things are probably on it, especially like, let's say it's like the Dwayne Haskins first season. Remember they didn't play him. He played like the last 4 or 5 games and he looked really good, like going out to the point where people felt like, oh, we might have something. If Shador goes out and finally gets on the field, like let's say the last 5 weeks, and he looks like I expect him to look, like prepared, like accurate, you know, elite, and you feel like, hey, we got a quarterback, then I think that conversation is definitely going to be had. It's definitely going to be had.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like the media loves this kind of stuff. Like these are the
dog.
kind of like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, like talking points that like trigger. That's like, what do they call it? Polarizing to get fans on both sides to get excitable and go at each other and just to be like clickbait.
Yeah. You right, dog. They do be. I'm looking at a little history around the Browns and stuff. So the Deshaun Watson trade, apparently that was
Haslam,
Jimmy Haslam.
that was
Yeah,
the owner,
that was him trying to make a big splash. Like
and
he
the
was
owner
like
mad
swung and missed drink, but
because he had a fully guaranteed contract. So like owners didn't want that. Like they were pissed. And
yeah,
so when you make and also you got to keep in mind, this is another angle with like Shador, why I believe he
mhm,
made them draft him is like when you take a swing and miss that badly, like they did with
mhm.
Deshaun, you almost got to take another swing to be able to correct that or make people forget that. So he
Mhm.
needs another, like, he needs to hit big to make people be like, oh, okay, like we ended up with Shador, so it's all worth it. Like we ended up with Jaden, so all of the BS it ends up kind of looking like it was worth it.
Everything get washed away,
Right.
dog.
So he need a swing. He need a big swing.
That's a big swing, bro. But the thing is, that Bama he would go to the mountaintop. This Bama Shador cook. Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing that could tip the scales. If Jimmy and the ownership is like on the GM, like no, dog, like Shador need to get reps because dog, the media is there. They're asking all the players about Shador. Like it just
Right.
you heard what Deontay Johnson talking about. He think that I said, dog, if you don't shut your coon chip head, this man talking about he think Kenny Pickett gonna get this starting job for the Browns. But of course, that's
I
his
can see
man.
that being the case though. If the like week one, I don't believe they're gonna start Shador. I just believe they haven't been giving him the reps in OTAs. They're not gonna have him go into training camp as the one to get the reps to be prepared to be the starter for week one, no matter how much he cooks. So I wouldn't say he might not be the number two going into the I
Mhm,
believe one of the rookies gonna be number two. It's not gonna be like Flacco and Pickett and then the third
mhm.
rookie, because you can't put any of the rookies on the practice squad because another team will take them. So
Okay,
both rookies have to be on the roster, which
okay.
means either Pickett
So
or Flacco will make the team, not both.
okay.
That being said, I could see them trotting Pickett out there as like if he ends up being the vet that stays over Flacco for the
Mhm,
first few weeks, but he's trash. We've seen it,
mhm.
and the fans will start clamoring for
Shador.
whoever the backup is at that
It's
point.
good. It
It
don't
might
matter.
be Gabriel,
If Shador third, they gonna clamor for Shador.
they, but based on you know these people when they
Babbitt's
make
just
these
gonna be
decisions,
Babbitt's gonna just be like this in the stands, like this.
yeah, they
They
got to
like
try to prove their point.
let's go. Dog, the Bama got a celebration, bro, already. He ain't even ready to game yet. Hey, yo.
But what you
I'm
gonna do
about
when
to
they
say,
put Gabriel in after Pickett and not Shador and
dog,
ruin
Gabriel
him?
some trash too. So
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Bama, he told me I knew he was some trash when they did interview him like during the camp joint and they asked him, what is his thoughts about like him and Shador and blah blah blah. And his answer told me that the Bama he don't have confidence in himself, that he's insecure.
And he's small. He Ike
So
Bike for real.
yeah, I might. That's who we had here, Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, he's
That's how.
smaller than him. Because at least Taylor Heineke had like a man build, like
Uh-huh.
somewhat muscular, like looked like a man. Like Gabriel looked like a soccer player, kind of sort of like he got
Uh,
like a real slight build.
get him out of here. He
They
I
gonna eat him
might.
alive in the league. And he's not super like for you to be like that, you got to be Mike Vick. You got to be
Mhm,
like elite athletically. Even Johnny Manziel, who was
mhm.
somewhat small, the
Russell
Bama had like
Wilson.
elite trait. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
This Bama, no chance.
Yo, they not going. The thing is, I mean, I guess I can see a scenario, but like,
Harold, we seen these people and we know how they move, though. Once they make a decision, they're gonna lean on that joint until somebody snaps them out of it, which is gonna have to be Has.
but Haslam, I feel like he gonna be hands on, bro.
I hope so.
Cause,
I
cause,
hope
cause,
so.
cause the media is on it, dog. As soon as that train, 2 weeks, we got 2 weeks. First day of camp, when they show the screen, they got all the camps live on the NFL Network joint. Browns joint
Yeah, we
gonna
going to
be
training
lit.
camp. We stopping
Richmond,
through training camp weekend.
they signed Terry,
Yeah,
maybe.
you're right. Yeah. I ain't
We
going
ain't
to training
rewarding
camp to
these
watch
Bammers for
Debo fat ass run crossing routes.
we ain't rewarding these Bammers just yet.
You're right.
Yeah, we can go down there.
This gonna be
I'm
the
with it.
most jumping training camp
This
since
the thing.
RG3
This the thing. I never wanted to go training camp and watch
till
these
now.
bums. Till now. We can go
Oh,
down
it's gonna
that
be
joint
crazy.
and hang out. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. It's about to be litty. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Shout out to Wiz Buffy. Shout out to Lance J. Shout out to Kicking it with G Man. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha. Everybody who rock with us heavy.
Get your tickets
And
November
we out.
16th.
Yeah.